And introducing Jinx, who is currently one of my favorite ADCs, if not my most favorite. Ever since she came out, I've been playing her a lot. She's a lot of fun to play. She's a bit more complex and requires a bit more strategic decision making than most ADCs, which I think she's a lot more enjoyable. So for having a slightly higher difficulty in decision making, it means a lot more fun gameplay in my mind. Um, so the way she works, her passive is really basic. She gets excited. So whenever she kills a champion or kills a turret, essentially she can run really fast for a little bit, which doesn't sound super exciting, but strategically can be really good. For instance, if you're killing a tower, you can run away really quickly when someone's trying to come by. If you get a kill and need to escape, you can get out really quickly. If you need to get a kill and you're trying to pursue other kills, you can run after them. So just keep in mind whenever you kill something, get excited, because you should be, because you're playing Jinx. Her Q is also a bit weirder than most ADCs. It's not an actual skill insofar as the way they're usually used. Instead, it switches between two primary attacks. So by default, Jinx uses her minigun, which is named Pow Pow. And essentially, the more she attacks, the faster she attacks, to 3 stacks, at which point she, at max level, she's attacking really, really fast. Afterwards, you can also switch to her rocket launcher, like that, which is named Fishbones. And so it does more damage, it has a longer range, but it also costs mana. But additionally, it hits everything around it instead of just a single target. So as you can kind of see here, it's her normal range, it's her Fishbones range, which might seem kind of small, but can make a huge difference. So as you can see here, obviously I'm hitting one target, and you can see I'm shooting slightly faster. But if I switch to Fishbones, suddenly I can hit all 3. And it doesn't do reduced damage, it does equal damage to every target it hits, which can be super awesome, especially in team fights against enemy teams, when in certain situations, like around a Baron Pit or something, you can hit every single member of the team. Additionally, that damage can crit normally, so that means you can literally get, crit an entire team in one shot in ideal circumstances. Obviously, it doesn't happen like that very often, but it can, and it's really awesome. Zap. Super useful. As you can see, super long range, hits one target and slows it. So you can basically, best situation, somebody's chasing you, you shoot it back at them. Oh, see, fortunately I missed there, but it slows it down. Has a really short cooldown, really long range. It also does a lot of damage. As you can see, its AD scaling is actually really good, even compared to her ult. So you can both use it as an escape, but also as a long distance poke tool, like that. It does cost a decent chunk of mana, but it's not too bad, so I incentivize its use. Finally, her Chain Stompers throw out little grenades, and essentially someone runs over them, they get stunned briefly. So it's best to use an escape. Someone's chasing after you, you drop Chain Stompers. It takes a split second to arm, but if they hit it, they can't move. So that's super useful. They explode eventually, as you can see afterwards. So just keep in mind, you can't throw it directly on a champion, you need to show it a little bit ahead of time so that they can arm. And I think the arming time is 1 second. It's like 1/2 to 1 second, I forget exactly how long. And finally, you have Super Mega Death Rocket, which is super awesome. It's kind of like Ashe's ult in that, or Ezreal's in that it shoots the entire map. After a first second, it goes faster, and the longer it's traveled, the more damage it does, especially based on missing health. So it does extra damage based on how close to the enemy you're shooting at it is. So obviously it's a super closing move. If, for instance, you're engaging this Sivir, and she's trying to run away, and she's gonna get away. But assuming she runs away, and you think you know where she's going, you shoot your rocket, and you kill her. Potentially can do really sweet things, like if someone runs off the map, you can just fire it if you think you know they're running over to base, which I've done before, and get kills. But it's also pretty short cooldown, and you can also use it to attack things in their lanes. And there's Jinx getting exciting, as you can start running faster for a little bit. So yeah, Jinx is, in lanes, pretty simple. You want to prioritize, again, using Zap to shoot people if you can. Additionally, if you can, because the extra 75 range from her missiles, you can use it for against certain champions to also poke them out of range, so switch to rockets for one, shoot a rocket, switch back to minigun to keep farming. You don't want to use rockets unless there's a reason to. Because for example, so farm, shoot her from a distance, kite her a bit. Also, if she's standing near minions, you can shoot the So yeah, that's how you escape using Jinx. As she backs off. You can also use the rockets to wave clear. The one thing to keep in mind is that the speed boost, attack speed boost, only carries over for the first shot when you switch, so you lose that attack speed boost when you switch weapons, essentially. But you gain a area defense attack, so that can definitely be worth it. So yeah, try and gotta farm efficiently. Just, knowing a lot of it's just knowing when to switch between the minigun and the rockets. Essentially, if you need extra range or hitting multiple targets, go rockets. If you're doing single target damage, definitely stick with the minigun. Use your zap as often as you want. Has low cooldown. Use it to escape. Use it to do lots of damage. Use flame chompers, especially in areas like this where they can't avoid it. So, for instance, you're running this way, you're escaping. Oh shit! Someone's chasing me. I throw them down behind me, and they're guaranteed to hit it. Use your rocket to kill things. Again, ideally you don't want to shoot at short range, but depending on the situation, you can. But it definitely does more damage the longer it's traveled. So, ideally you want to be 1 second away-ish, which just takes practice. Skill ring level, next pointing to Q, pointing to W, Q, E is how I do it. So Q, E, Q, W, Q, E. Max Q first, W second, E last. In terms of items to build, she's pretty flexible as an ADC. She does great stuff with the Bloodthirster because, again, the scaling on her W and the R is really awesome. Building crit chance, really fantastic, again, because the rockets can crit. If you build an early Phantom Dancer, Infinity Edge, or anything, or early Phantom Dancer is not the worst idea, but Bloodthirster, Phantom Dancer, Infinity Phantom Dancer, both great combos. And yeah, and then team fight, you just want to focus on staying back and shooting rockets into the enemy. And when you see it, shoot that big rocket for lots of fun. So yeah, that's Jinx. She's awesome. She's crazy. She has a lot of hilarious lines of dialogue. And if you try her out, make sure to laugh at your enemies because they deserve it.